Hey, what's up guys? Genuvic here, and I'm back with another video. Now, I know it's been a while, but bear with me, and the only reason I'm uploading now is because I found something, and I couldn't just let it go. I was scrolling through Facebook, and I found a video where I believe it's 17-year-old girl was being put through the ringer by officers, quote-unquote, and I gotta say, when I find something that's claiming police brutality or, unwarranted violence or something like that, I always go and do a little bit of digging into it, because 9 times out of 10, I'll find that the story is completely bullshit. It was edited down and, twisted. They twisted the story to make it out something that it really wasn't. And when you take out, okay, I'll put it to you this way, right? If I get into a fist fight with another person and all I show in the video is me hitting him, obviously it's going to look like I'm winning, right? It's going to look like he is getting his ass beat, which is not the case. And that's what a lot of major outlets are doing now, and even smaller outlets are starting to pick up on that, and they like to twist the story to make it more interesting for the viewer, for the reader, and it's happening all over the place. But the problem with this is that it causes a lot of mistrust, or distrust. And when you say that police are going around and all the police are bad, and that they're always beating people up for no reason, and shooting unarmed black people for no reason, yeah, it's going to cause people to be scared of the police unjustly, and that's not fair to the officers. I've met a lot of very cool officers. Yeah, I've met some dick officers who will put you through the ringer if if you look at them funny or whatever, but I've met a lot of cool officers as well. And the problem with this is that it becomes a safety hazard after a while. People will be so scared of the cops that they're literally going to be so nervous around them every time they come around that they're going to be shot or beaten or abused just for looking at them funny, for smelling funny, for really anything, that they're going to start killing the cops. And it's happened before. I'm sure it'll happen again, especially when the media wants to keep, getting their money just by saying, oh yeah, police are terrible people, they're all going to beat you up and this and that. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Don't get me wrong. It does happen. Police brutality is a thing. Racism is a thing, but not on such a grand scale as they want to make it out to be. Now, I'm going to show you this video, and first I'm going to show you the edited down video, and you can tell me what you think of it, alright? And then after that, I'm going to show you the full video, and I'm going to fill in the blanks for you. It'll fill in the blanks for you, and it'll give you the full picture. That way you can get the full runaround, alright?
Cool. Do me a favor. Take a deep breath and blow into that, alright?
I didn't do anything to get written up, did I?
You called the scene. Now you're causing the scene. You want to? Alright. I'll give you one more chance to give me your last name. Okay, what's your last name?
I don't need my last name.
Okay, that's it. I'm done with you. Do you have cuffs on you?
No, man!
Get over here.
Don't talk to me!
Yo.
Don't touch me!
Alright, you're about to get dropped.
And see, now right here you can tell that she's obviously resisting, so there's obviously going to be a consequence for that. They are going to take you down. If you do not comply on your own, they will make you comply, because that's how police work. Whatever you do, they go one step above that. In fact, it's an actual thing. It's called the use of force model. I'll display it right here so you can see. And do some research on it, and whatever you do, the officers are going to take one level higher than that. So, just saying.
Fucking no! My daughter!
Now, obviously, this shit looks fucking terrible. No one's denying that. When you put it like this shit looks terrible. But let me fill in some of the blanks for you, okay? Let me show you the point from where she was refusing to identify, then she got up, then she started spitting at officers, and it was, oh man, it was a mess. I'm gonna play you the full video now, and this is from body cam, by the way, so it doesn't have, you know, the angles from the, you know, the outsiders, but the body cam footage shows that she was obviously undeserving of it. It's not like they just went over there, tackled her, and started beating the shit out of her for no apparent reason. I believe that it was semi-warranted. Yes, it was a little bit excessive, but they were within their right to do such because she was resisting, and they did employ these tactics, which they are trained to do. They employed these tactics in order to get this girl under control because she was obviously out of control. Now, might I add, people in the comments were saying, the people in the comments of these videos on Facebook were saying that it was illegal for them to force her to identify, but in fact a crime was committed, so yes, they were within their legal right to make her identify herself. The crime that she had committed, minor in possession of alcohol, which is actually one of the charges that she was charged with, as well as I believe it was assault on a, I don't know, something to do with assault, something to do with bodily fluid, because they were, you know, she was spitting on her, or spitting on them, and some other stuff. I can't really particularly put my hand on it, or my tongue on it, or whatever, but she was committing a crime just by having, you know, alcohol in her possession. And if it was her aunt's, then, I mean, bad on the aunt, obviously, for leaving, you know, a minor in possession of the alcohol. But at the same time, it's not like they were saying that she was going to be charged with it. They just wanted to know where her aunt was so that she could come over and say, yes, this is my alcohol, this is not her alcohol. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the video. I want you to look at this clip. I want you to really think about it. I want you to think about what you would do if you were this officer. And obviously you're going to get frustrated when, you know, this tiny 20-year-old girl, compared to you and your manly build, is causing you some frustration. I mean, it's going to be frustrating. You're a big man, she's a small girl. You should be able to get her in cuffs fairly easily, but you can't because of how emotional she is. How, I mean, when you know damn well when someone's mad, they get extremely strong. They can sometimes get superhuman strength, and she was obviously very, very emotional and very, very upset at this. And you got to think from her perspective as well. Yes, I mean, obviously you're going to be a little bit upset. I mean, your aunt just left, or whoever it was, and you're being pinned for some alcohol. And in her mind, maybe she doesn't, you know, maybe she hasn't encountered any officers before, but they were literally just trying to make sure that everything was good. They weren't trying to get anybody in trouble, it didn't seem like. They were just trying to figure out whose it was. And I'm sorry, I'm starting to rant again, but here's the video clip. I want you to look at it for yourselves, and I want you to think what you would do if you were the officer.
They're your parents?
They're my aunt.
Oh, your aunt's? Where's your aunt at?
On her way. She left me. She's coming back.
Left, she's coming back? Cool. Do me a favor. Take a deep breath and blow into that, alright?
And see, now right off the start here, she starts getting a little bit of a sassy attitude. She starts getting a little bit of sass in her life, and, you know, even the way that she moves and the way that, you know, she makes her facial expressions, you can tell that she's really not into it, and that it kind of almost seems like that she's looking for trouble. Like, she thinks that she's so above being stopped by the officers. And I mean, that kind of, you know, that kind of plays into it a little bit. And you can tell that the officers are treating her just like they would anybody else. They're treating her with respect. They're not, you know, invading her privacy or anything like that. They just, hey, whose alcohol is that? That's your parents, okay? Or is that's your aunt's, okay? Could you go ahead and take a breathalyzer so we can make sure that you weren't drinking any of it? And, you know, typical police work. Nothing wrong so far. And it, you know, it appears that she's getting a little bit sassy. So we're going to continue the video.
Alright, do me a favor, try one more time. Deep breath, don't go so far in.
Is there a staring problem? Mind your business.
Now, as you can clearly see here, she's throwing a little bit of shade the officer's way. She said, "You got a staring problem? Mind your business." Now, I don't know what she expects the officer to be looking at. I don't know if she expects the officer to be, turned around and, staring at someone else on the beach when, obviously he's working with his partner here and trying to figure out what's going on. But just a little bit of disrespect toward the officers there. And I don't know what she expected, but I just find it pretty pointless. I mean, if you're just trying to get on your way, why are you trying to start problems with the officer? If all you wanted was to go about your way, why not just comply and get it over with? Because it appears they're just literally doing their job. That officer was literally just standing there making sure everything was cool, and you gotta go and say some smart ass shit to him. I don't know. I find it a little bit ridiculous, but we're gonna continue anyway.
What the fuck? Like,
163, we're 10-8.
Alright, where's your aunt at? You have her phone number? How old are you?
I know that didn't come up positive. I didn't take a drink of anything, so.
Alright. Alright, take a deep breath, keep blowing. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Alright, we're... Yo guys, even if it's your aunt, she is of age.
Is she of age?
Yeah, how old is she? Like 40?
No, it's man, this is moving.
Alright, go grab her real quick. We're gonna have them pour that all out.
How are you gonna let us go if we didn't even drink alcohol?
Well, where's your aunt at?
You're allowed to carry alcohol.
That's interesting.
You're underage. You are. You're not allowed to drink it, and we did not
Open
drink it.
display on the beach.
What?
It's possession
Open
consumption.
display.
It's not open.
Open display means you.
What do you mean? That doesn't
You can
mean
see it,
anything.
yes.
Okay, you can see it, and we're not drinking.
5043. Come here with LL Skellinger in the beach. 502, you clear?
I'm tired of shit. Probably in their gator box.
Cool, what's your name?
I'm not for obstruction with my fucking 18-month-old daughter over there.
Yeah, you're not
For
cooperating.
obstruction?
Yeah,
I didn't disrespect you. I didn't do anything to get written up, did I?
You called it a scene.
now you're causing a scene. You want it? Alright, I'll give you one more chance to give me your last name.
Just be
You're not gonna lock me up.
cooperative.
Okay,
You can't lock me up. I didn't disrespect you.
okay.
And you don't need to write my name down either because I didn't disrespect you. I didn't do anything to you. You're mad because we thought we were drinking.
Alright, I'll give you one. Okay, first of all, you're in possession. Where's your aunt at then?
She's on her way.
Okay, what's your
You
last
could
name?
wait here. That's like you wasted your time coming over here. You could wait here for her.
Okay, what's your last name?
You don't need my last name.
Okay, that's it. I'm done with you. Do you have cuffs on you?
No, man!
Get over here.
Don't fucking touch me!
Now, as you can see, there was a lot more to the story than was shown in the, in the other video. And I find it pretty crazy that people can edit it down so much to where you only show the bare minimum. But as you could see, the officers, they tried to get her to comply. They tried to get her to settle down. She kept getting riled up, and, they just kind of sat there and let it happen for a while. And then they said, okay, well, if you don't want to give us your name and let us conduct our investigation, then you're going in. And she didn't comply, so she's going in. And that's exactly what happened. They followed through with what they said, and now, of course, the oh-so-vicious, police brutality clip. And we're going to show that right here, right now. And we're going to show it fully, and we're going to show it from the officer's perspective. So I want you to think about how you would react if you were, a bigger man and you were trying to take down a smaller female and just get her in cuffs. And obviously she's putting up a massive fight, and it's hard to fight back. So I want you to think about that.
Yo.
Don't touch me!
Alright, you're about to get dropped.
Yo, don't fucking touch me! Man! Don't!
Get over here.
What are you doing? Don't fucking touch me! Man! My daughter! What the fuck is wrong with you?
You're done.
Fucking dickhead, get the fuck! Don't pull my hair! Get off me! What are you doing?
5043, send me another unit. Skellinger in the beach. We got one resisting.
Em, relax.
No! I can't pull my hair! You fucking Get off of me! What are you doing? Matt! Matt, they're choking me!
Scavenger in the beach. Can I get another unit?
They're choking me, Matt! Matt, I cannot breathe!
I'm not choking.
Yes, the fuck you are, you fucking dickhead!
Now, I'm not a genius or a biologist, but I'm pretty sure if you can scream, "I'm being choked," and "I'm being choked," and "I'm being choked," and "yes, you are, you fucking dickhead," you're not actually being choked. But what do I know?
Get the fuck off me, yo! Get the I'm
That's
not
it.
resisting.
Get on the fucking back up. Back the fuck up. Back up. Back up. Get over here now.
You're not allowed to beat me like that. I'm a woman. It doesn't matter.
Put your hands behind your
It
back.
doesn't matter. You're not allowed to hit me like that and choke me. You're not allowed to hit me and choke me like that. You're not allowed to hit
Grab
me
her.
and choke me like that.
Handcuff her.
You're not allowed to hit me and choke me like that. My daughter is right there seeing this. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not one of these little fucking bitches out here just gonna let you treat. My mom doesn't treat us anyway. You fucking purple. You white piece of fucking trash.
Juliet Alpha Charlie Oscar Bravo.
Oh my god. I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't drinking anything. Just smell it.
Shit wasn't even open, bro.
You just fucking choked me off. I can't believe you did that. Get off of me.
Now, the rest of the video is them basically just taking her to a squad car, putting her in, blah, 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 all that jazz. But you can see how twisting the story. Now, I'm not saying that it's entirely, completely justified, but you got to understand that he was frustrated. He just wanted to make sure that, she wasn't in, possession of alcohol underage or drinking underage. And she wants to get all sassy, and she wants to give attitude, and she wants to disrespect the officers. As much as she claims she wasn't, she was. And the media and even smaller outlets want to take this story and twist it into something it's not. And actually, I found a video while researching this, and it was from an actual news source. And before, when they had came out with the video, they had only came out with the confrontation. But the department that this department, or the department that handled this case, I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it in an annotation in text right there. But they released the full video, and then people started getting some context. And there was one media source, and they actually took it and they said, look, that is not the whole story, and I would urge you to look into it before you judge. And I'll put the link to that video down in the description below so you guys can check it out. Also, original video links will be in the description down below. And I'm sorry for my stuttering. I haven't recorded in a while. It's kind of getting to me a little bit. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you guys think down below. Tell me if you guys think this was justified, or even after seeing the original, if you still think that this was unwarranted. But you guys be sure to let me know, and I might follow up on that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Genuvic, peace.